that
That you feel artists of color face in theater?
um, where do we begin? I mean, the reality is there's a lot of barriers that are institutionalized. Our country is based on a foundation of um, capitalistic racist structures. That's how the United States of America, unfortunately, was founded by taking away land from the indigenous peoples and then building it on slave labor from Africa, cheap labor from Asia and Mexico. And so, because of those structures, that has, even though no one here in this day and age necessarily has those same intentions, but because of the structures of how everything was built, the reality is it's designed to hold power in certain sectors of the community and not for others. So in terms of theater follows that same model where it's, in our country, a lot of it has been paradigmed on a Western hierarchical structure. And so therefore a lot of communities of color, it's been hard to access in terms of how it's defined and even the relevance that it has for a lot of communities of color. So, I mean, we're talking about everything from actors, directors, just the opportunities are challenging. When people say, what is the best fit? Lots of times they're, again, thinking about it centered on a Western aesthetic. So lots of times they don't necessarily see faces that are Asian Pacific Islander American as fitting that aesthetic. It's most clearly demonstrated in terms of actors on the surface, but then in every level of power, decision making from producers, directors on down. Because of the lack of seeing enough role models, because of the lack of the stories that represent diverse communities, those are perceptual barriers. Without seeing role models, you're less likely to go into the profession. And if you don't go into the profession, it just keeps on being cyclical in terms of not having enough opportunities to begin with. And so until we have more people like this, and that's what's been so great about the conference, more people together knowing that you're not isolated and that you actually have huge communities of people, not only just in the API community, but across different sectors and across different racial lines, all in this together, working together along with white allies to create change, to create more opportunities, to create more visibility. And that's what's been exciting to see is the generations of people here at the conference, from people still in school all the way to people who've been doing and being in this business and being the warriors for it for decades. That's been truly inspiring. Sorry, that was really long,
No.
convoluted.
What is a seismic shift you would like to see in theater?
A seismic shift I would love to see in theater is where the stories that we see on our stages reflect the communities of people that actually live in our communities. And that even the structures of how we experience theater change. So it's not necessarily just in some big venue with theater seats and the stage is over there and the audience comes and sits and watches, but that theater is interactive in places that you would never expect to encounter theater in our neighborhoods and our communities, more site-specific work, more interactive, immersive theater, theater that builds on traditions of different cultures, where it includes more movement-based work, more music, more cross-disciplinary work, and that it's developed in more collaborative, tribal, if you will, ways, where we shake up what theater can be, and that it makes it more exciting, I think, for each new generation of people coming up to be able to experience where they actually feel that they are part of it, audience and artist alike, and not just, again, we're over here, artists are on stage, and there's this binary of who gets to participate and who doesn't. So that if the structure changes, then I think who feels included in theater will change as well.
Yeah. What is a seismic work that has changed or affected you?
A seismic work that's changed or affected me. Well, I'll start with the very first piece. The whole reason why I got into theater in the first place, I think, is the very first piece that I saw when I was young. Um, uh, my family's Chinese American, and so we didn't go see theater in the Western sense per se. Until I was in school, and in school we happened to get free tickets to see a production. The first production I saw was Taming of the Shrew. It was all white actors. It was a fabulous production, and it made me fall in love with theater. But the first theater piece that completely transformed me, two pieces. One, when I was 19, seeing a production of, it was a Japanese folktale, but it was all Asian American actors on stage, and seeing that production where I actually saw people who looked like me, because we weren't even seeing people in television and movies at that time that looked like me, so to actually see a whole stage full of people who looked like me, that was transformative for me. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And I'd already actually been doing a lot of theater in school at that time, so it was really transformative to see that. But then the next production I saw when I was, I saw a number of productions in between, but then I saw a production when I was 20. It was about Booker T. Washington, and the African-American actor, it was a solo show, who was doing the role, was such a phenomenal actor and performer. It blew my mind. When you see that much talent on stage as an actor of color, seeing another actor of color, just so talented. All I could think about is all the people in the audience. How can you look at that man and not believe that he is a human being and deserves the same rights as everyone else? And so I thought, if going into theater can mean creating more opportunities for other people of color to be able to share their talent in that way so that other people can finally see them as human, that would truly be transformative. And that's pretty much what I've spent my career trying to do, is to create those kind of opportunities so that we can all see each other as human.
That's amazing. And finally, what is a quote from a seismic artist?
A quote from a seismic artist in the field. I think actually one that just popped in my mind right now is Lorraine Hansberry. I think she says something along the lines of, if you want to do something, do it. It's not an exact quote, but that's pretty much it. So if we want to create change, then we just have to create the change. Thank you so much.
Would like to say about the festival of Confest?
Just, it's so amazing to have so many people of all ethnicities, not just Asian Pacific Islander American here, but every race, age, across different geographic regions of the country, all in one place, really talking about how we can transform the face of theater, literally and metaphorically, spiritually and emotionally. And I've been coming to Ashland since I was a little girl, and I've never seen so many Asian Americans in Ashland ever, and that to me is already a seismic shift.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Thea.
Yes, nice to meet you, Thea. Oh, okay.
It's great to meet you.
Great to meet you. Thank you for being here.